Today, we're talking about how to lower your overhead. This is for you entrepreneurs out there. The first tip that you want to do in order to lower your overhead is first know what your profit and what your loss is. So, review everything. You want to review your salaries, you want to review your bonuses, you want to assess your employees. You also want to look at your office space. So, let's just get into some of these. First, let's talk about the first thing people want to do is figure out ways on how to save money. So some ideas you can use the people that you employ. Have a brainstorm. Hey, what are some things that you think that you could contribute? In regards to how should we do it this way, or do you know a different way that we can do it? It don't always have to be on you. Use the people that you employed to assist you with this. 9 times out of 10, they know more than what you hired them for. So use them as resources.
And then also what you can do is what we call in the corporate world is benchmarking. Is what you can do is look at other companies in your industry and see what they are doing and how they're benefiting whatever technology they're using or whatever kind of different policy and procedures that they're using.
Systems.
It's good to scope out the competition because they might be doing something that you're missing out on and you can easily save money.
Right. Also, you want to reevaluate your third-party contracts. So negotiations. Always negotiate. Every 6 months, every 3 months, every year. Negotiate your contracts and see if you can get like a lower price on things that you use every day. For instance, if you use UPS or something for your company, see if you can negotiate that price and see if you can get it at a cheaper rate. Or if you cannot negotiate that price, then you could scope around, look for other places that you can also get the same services for a lower price. And normally, if you ever notice when you tell them, hey, I don't, you're not lowering this price, I can't afford it anymore, 9 times out of 10 also, they'll try to give you a discount so you'll stay. So they value your business. So try to do that too.
Or they have a competition rate.
Oh, yeah.
You bring in the little paper and say, hey, this is what your competition is offering. What can you do?
Right.
And also for the contracts, I want to say earlier that it's a good idea, like you were saying before, to revisit because a lot of contracts, when you read the details and review for the year or for the past 2 years after looking at your books, you might find that it is a lot of services that you're paying for that you haven't been using.
Right.
It's not to your benefit, doesn't fit in with the industry that you're in. So you might have to go from a whole contract to like a piecemeal kind of thing.
Right.
And just only pay for the services that you utilize.
Right. Because who wants to pay for more for something they're not using? No one. Then, unfortunately, sometimes you have to do layoffs. But if you have to do layoffs, try reducing their salaries. See if they'll stay, especially if they're a quality employee. You just don't want to automatically say, "Oh, we're having layoffs or whatever. We got to fire everybody." See if you can lower their salary, and then when businesses start booming again, when your business start booming again, then you want to be like, hey, let's revisit, saying your salary, saying an increase because, that shows the employee that, hey, I do, this person does value me as an employee, and just because they go through hard times, they're not going to just, let me go. And so it's kind of like, equal things. Like, no job wants you just to quit, what I'm saying, because you're not getting everything in which you feel like you should get. And you want to make sure that your employees feel like you value them as well. So try to negotiate their salary, or benefits, or if you have to cut back on something, opposed to just immediately, oh, it's a layoff.
And then also as entrepreneurs, I'm not talking about the big corporates because, that's a whole different ball game.
Right.
But the small businesses and the entrepreneurs, you probably want to look at the option of having, services hired per contract.
Yes.
Because at that point you can reassess kind of like a yearly evaluation on your corporate job.
Mhm.
But this time, in this scenario, you have a contract. If they haven't met, the terms of the contract, then that's ground for termination, or you can revisit, negotiations, and you will get much more of a product. You'll get much production
Right.
out of the person because they know they're not going to get paid.
Exactly. So that's another way to go by it too. Also, credit cards. So a lot of corporations, not corporations, but businesses, small businesses want to get credit cards. And so there was like, oh, my expense is this, my expense is that. But used credit cards are actually going to work for you in other ways. Like, airline, you get points towards airlines, you get, points towards gas, percentages off. So make them just work for you, not just like this whole a money amount. Make it work for you in different aspects. So,
and then also you want to revisit the terms of your credit card, and we'll not on this session, but we're going to do more in-depth on business credit later on. But this is one tip I want you guys to have in mind: balance transfers, because with terms of credit cards, of course they give you a little primo, a demo rate.
Right.
We're gonna test you out for a year at 0%. Not even a year, 6 months at 0%, and then they go up on you. So what you can do, this is a little tip now, is hopefully you're gonna steadily, ongoing, continuously build your business credit.
Yes.
So as you continuously do that, you'll be getting new offers at 0%.
Yeah.
So when whatever products or whatever you have on this one card, when the rate go up, balance transfer to the new one at 0%.
Yes, and make sure you pay your balances within that introductory period, so you won't be stuck with that APR.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, always do that. But yes, balance transfer, that's a good one too. 0 interest rate. I do that now.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, good idea. Also, control your purchasing. So, some companies have more than one person who has control of purchasing. Have it stick to one person, because what you don't want to do, especially when you're already having difficulties, you don't want to have everybody having a card. No, one person needs to have a card, because you're not going to shopping spree on me, okay? So, control your purchasing. And also that goes with negotiation. Control your purchasing, and only buy things that you absolutely need. There's some things like, rental and gas and, stuff like that you absolutely have to get regardless, like insurance, you have to get regardless. But like supplies and certain things, just control that until you get into better, to a better stance within your company. Also with rental, if you have an office, you can rent it out.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Yes, you can rent it out.
Rent out a whole studio, baby.
Right. And you can put that towards your company. And so also you can move completely out of where you're at, to somewhere that's cheaper. So say when you first started, you were like in downtown or something like that, you move to somewhere, on the outskirts of downtown. It'll be cheaper. And, if you don't feel comfortable enough to stay where you are, you can always move later. But, for this time being, your goal is to lower your expenses. So let's do that. And if you can use cash more than credit. So.
And then what you also can do, especially I know in downtown Orlando, you can, a lot of businesses, startups and small businesses, they do co-ops. I know you said sublease, but some, especially downtown, some buildings don't allow you to sublease. If you're in that situation and you're looking to save money, you can also co-op. Like you can go in together with a partner in a building and split the rent.
Yes, that's a good thing to do too. So it's not all on you. That bill's on somebody else too. Mm-hmm. Well, these are your money saving tips. Please use them.
Thank you for watching the Tania and Tamika show, and be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel, and continue to watch us every Sunday at 4 p.m.